Not the garbage truck, no! The garbage truck went by and it was going really fast and it put out a lot of water with a lot of force.
Is the puddle getting any smaller?
Well, the puddle is a little smaller, but not much because it's all draining right back into it.
Poor Jimmy.
Right now, man, my head is in my ass.
It's green light again. That same car. Oh, that bastard. That's the third time for him. You son of a bitch.
Wait a minute. The same car keeps going by over and over again?
I love it.
Yeah, they're doing laps.
Oh, now who
It's
would
like
do
NASCAR.
that? That is horrible.
And he's flying, too. He's got a fast car.
What kind of ruthless bastard would do such a thing?
Keep going. No, don't honk. Don't honk. There's another one.
Dude, I would love to drive by. I would love to drive by.
You son of a bitch.
That would be awesome. Oh, my God.
Oh, man, that man soaked me bad.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, I got it, but I cop. Cop even got me. There's another one.
Yes!
Not him again, you bastard. Oh, man, that was the worst one.
That damn thing sounded like a train.
I know. Amtrak even hates him. I think they're trying to stop him. So you're out of water in the puddle? Jim the photographer, everybody.
Jim the human tampon. He's so absorbent.
Unbelievable. That's how you start a Monday.
Hey, kids, what time is it?
The alarm clock screams and there's a cat butt in my face. I don't want to get up, face the human race. I take a shower, I take a pee, I drink some coffee, I watch some TV. But nothing seems to keep my eyes open, nothing seems to get my blood flowing. Called up a friend of mine and asked what lights a fire under your behind. He says he spells relief, R-A-Y-L-Y-T-L-E. Have no fear, the gang's all is, so clean out your ears for the morning disaster. They got gas and brass and testes and rock and roll piled up to the rafters. They're really immature and there's no cure, but they'll be your favorite broadcasters. And it's Ray Lytle's morning disaster. And it's Ray Lytle's morning disaster. I took my friend's advice to heart. I bought myself an FM radio. Now every weekday starts with a visit from the morning disaster show. And now I spell relief, R-A-Y-L-Y-T-L-E. Have no fear, the gang's all here, so clean out your ears for the morning disaster. They got gas and breast and testes and rock and roll piled up to the rafters. They're really immature, but there's no cure, but they'll be your favorite podcasters. And it's Ray Lytle's morning disaster. And it's Ray Lytle's morning disaster.
You bet it is. Good Monday morning, everybody. How you doing? It is Ray Lytle's morning disaster. I would be Ray Lytle. Hold on.
I would hope that's who you are.
I thought I was gonna sneeze. Oh, and I didn't. Good morning. How we doing? It's a Monday morning. Congratulations to Bubba Dubba.
He got it finally?
Bubba, first person in the chat room. Double Bubs. Way to go, Bubs. Bubba's first, Adam second, Diane. I'm sorry. Adam and Diane first non-winners. Fat 420, finishing fourth, but he was first. But he was first in some other categories.
Yeah, we
And
know.
then it was followed by Steve and Cindy and Summer. Yeah. So way to go, Bubba. There you go, buddy. We like that. We started with Jim the photographer getting splashed by people driving by a puddle.
Well, after as rainy as it's been this week, that's only fitting.
I loved that bit. I thought this weekend, I thought about how this would be great. This was the kind of weather we were having back then. We went through this weird stretch of real hard rain. I mean, it was not as intense as it's been here. I mean, here it's been really intense, but that was a little intense stretch we got in like right around 98, 2000 or whatever. So we had people drive by a puddle, and we had Jim stand off the road on a sidewalk right next to the puddle, and people drove by and splashed him. That's what that bit was. So it's great memories. Oh my God.
Because he needed a bath.
Well, yeah, but this is how we did it. He had to go. He had to stand right next to the puddle. Then people had to drive by and splash him. That was awesome. Great memories. And I was thinking about that this weekend, and I was like, if Jimmy was still alive with us,
He'd be by a puddle today, huh?
he'd be standing by a puddle. I'll tell you that right now, because that's what kind of weather we had this weekend. Although I got to tell you, it was really weird. We would have these heavy rains, okay,
Right.
like really heavy rains, and then it would stop, and there would be extreme sun, like just extreme, really, really sunny.
Right.
And it would get really, really hot. And then within a couple hours, the lightning and thunder and, all that stuff would start again. It was really crazy. Really crazy. And it seemed like every 5 minutes on Facebook, there would be some post from some kind of, from some people pretending they were professional storm chasers that had all these pictures up of, just horrible clouds and stuff all over the damn area. And then they'd show videos, and you'd click on the videos, and you'd always hear a guy going, "Look at that heavy rotation. Oh, there's a lot of talk of rotations in the clouds."
All that was low flyers.
And then there was always, they were somehow calling themselves experts, though. And then the best one was this guy that had, like, his wife was with him. And she was going, "Oh my God. Oh my God. Look how close it is. Are we going to die?" And he was like, "Oh, shut up. We're not going to die." He was yelling at the wife. And that was what was on Facebook. I found that more entertaining than actually looking at, because I don't know when I see that stuff, I don't know what I'm looking at. I don't know how to judge rotation from a whatever. These people that consider themselves experts, they know all about rotation. Look at the rotation that's going on, and you guys know what I'm talking about. If you ever see a video from any kind of storm chaser, it's always all about the rotation. That's what they're talking about. Well, there's some dangerous rotation going on. Blah 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 blah. And I never understand any of it. But that's their whole thing. I guess if you want to talk about rotation and show pictures of clouds, you can consider yourself a storm chaser too and get on Facebook. That's just that's how it works these days. So, although I don't think there's any money in it.
Not really.
If anyone's thinking of doing it, I don't know who's going to pay you to do this. Oh well.
I did it for a couple of years as a hobby. but and I was certified through the Emergency Storm Deployment Agency to do it.
But they certify you. It's not like they give you any money or anything.
No, I didn't get paid a nickel to do it. I just did it for fun.
So you just went around chasing storms.
Yeah, you know what? You actually see some really cool stuff doing it too.
Oh, I can see you getting into that. I can see TJ being a storm geek.
Right, it's fun.
A storm fucker.
Well, you gotta get gratification.
I can see TJ being a storm fucker.
I'm
driving around
right
looking for storms, going, "Oh, there's some good rotation there. That's a good. I gotta stalk this tornado."
That tornado will give you a better handy than anybody at a truck stop. I promise.
Yep, I'll tell you what. I can see TJ being a storm fucker. That's what I'm gonna call. That's what I'm gonna call those people now. The storm fuckers.
The storms give good handies.
Yep. A storm fucker. A storm stalker. A tornado stalker. Driving around looking for him all the time. Doesn't shock me. That's all I'll say.
What they were showing, I was like, I don't see any rotation there. Come on.
Yeah, they're definitely, I'll tell you though, there were some weird photos. I mean, like people had photos from stuff, and it's just bizarre. It is bizarre that our weather across the country is getting so messed up. And every year they've been telling us that this shit was gonna happen. They've been telling us for 30 years.
Yeah.
And no one listens to the experts. So when this stuff starts happening, people are shocked over it. They're like, "Oh, I just can't believe this is happening." No, of course it's going to happen. They've been warning you that this was going to happen. But oh well. As long as the storm fuckers are out there getting this video talking about rotation, we'll all be safe. I'm not sure how we'll be safe, but a bunch of unpaid people.
Just part of the warning system.
Unpaid people out there being experts.
If there does happen to be a touchdown and you've got you got a couple people out there chasing it, then they can follow and kind of give you an idea of the track. And if it's tracking towards, say, Springfield, that gives enough time to give an evacuation order to clear out the town.
I was thinking about that though. Because I am left alone, even though I can't walk. I am just left alone to die on bad tornado days. And I started thinking about me and people like me in this situation. Don't have a basement. There's no basement in my home. In fact, there's not even a crawl space in this home.
Hey, you've got the perfect thing. You've got a Jason.
Well, it's crazy. It's nuts because I was thinking and on what this is a true story. On one of the walls of my house is not even a wall. It's all glass.
Right.
It's all glass, and I can't walk. Literally, if a storm came, I would be fucked. I mean, where the hell am I going to be?
You've got a Jason.
Yeah, I've got a Jason.
You could be sitting there in your underwear, and if the storm comes in, Jason will have to rush in, put you in the wheelchair, rush you out.
Yeah.
You have a Jason.
Jason would be the hero.
We were just talking about that last night. I said, you know what Ray's going to do, Jason? He's going to go to the baseball game in a Speedo and a tank top.
Oh, hell yeah.
And he's going to have the bell. And every time he needs to go to the bathroom.
That's a great idea. I need a bell. That's a great idea.
He's going to ring the bell and go, Jason, I must toity. You must take me to the bathroom.
Steve says I should ride it out in the tub. That if there's a tornado, I ride it out in the tub.
You know what? That is actually one of the safer places in the house.
Yeah. It's just crazy, right? I mean,
Yep.
I don't even know. Yeah, but I don't know which rooms I think my daughter's bedroom is probably the safest room.
Because of no windows and stuff.
Well, just because of, I mean, yeah, I don't know what's a load bearing wall or whatever, but yeah, I think that her room has an important wall somehow in this house. I don't know, but it's also right across from the window, or right across from that window wall, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I'm not sure what's safe. Of course, listen, the whole house is brick. This house ain't gonna come down. But I'm saying the window wall. But the window wall,
that could cause some damage.
Yeah. If a tornado hits, the window wall would have cracked and impaled me. I would have been impaled with gigantic shards of glass sticking out of my person and killed. DC says I would have been in my chair, my recliner, floating around like that cow in Twister.
Yeah, you probably would have.
I would have just been floating around going, woo.
Ray.
Yeah.
Another Ray. No, I think that was the same Ray. Oh,
yeah, that would have been me, just floating around like a bad version of the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. No, hey, I'm getting you the bell for the baseball game, and I'm even getting Jason some Gold Bond so he can powder you after you're done using.
Oh yeah, I want a bell. And whenever I ring the bell, Jason has to come over and push me and ask if I'm all right. Or where to, sir? Oh, Jason, I think I have to go to the restroom. So and then on our way there, I'll go, nope, false alarm.
Take me to the beverage counter.
But just use this Gold Bond powder and freshen me up. Freshen me up.
Oh, man.
Every third inning, I want freshened up. There you go.
The mental image at Jason throwing up last night.
I heard about that.
No.
I heard about that. Tyler, by the way, says Alex Jones is right. Cobra created the weather control. By the way, the fact that even that Alex Jones has even said that Cobra created a weather is frightening to me. The fact that you even know that that bullshit was said is troubling to me. Oh my God.
How does anybody even believe? Isn't Cobra supposed to be something on like G.I. Joe?
I don't. I have no idea.
I seem to remember something about Cobra when I watched the G.I. Joe cartoon as a kid.
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't know anything. I'm just saying that those Alex Jones nuts.
I mean, what next? They're going to say they're going to Great Show.
Cope. That was DC points out that was the G.I. Joe cartoon. That was the bad guy. It was the bad guy in the G.I. Joe cartoon. That's who Tyler has. Oh God, that's fantastic.
What are they in cahoots with Gargamel from the Smurfs?
That's hysterical. Oh my God. But there are people that believe that shit. I'm telling you. There's people who believe it. They don't believe there's actual climate changes due to they don't believe we have actual problems due to, our abuse of the world. They don't believe any of that, but they believe that there's some evil beings that somehow are using weather machines.
Next thing I know, somebody's going to say, "Oh, there's really people living in the middle of the earth in molten lava."
That's just crazy. I'm telling you, it's nutty times. nutty times that we live. I mean, there's still people that believe that the guy who won the last presidential election, it was Trump. I mean, there's people who believe that they somehow, I'm not even sure how in their philosophy, you know, the man won, and even though he didn't get more votes, or even though, you know what I mean? I don't know how any of that stuff works. But people believe in just bullshit. That's what they believe in. They just, you know, they just believe in bullshit. By the way, I saw Nick went down to Atlanta, all right? And then he started putting up he started putting up TikToks, all right? Nick started putting up TikToks from his Atlanta trip. And one of the TikToks was him on the morning after, because I guess one of the TikTok trips to Atlanta was to some kind of bourbon bar or something. And so Nick had TikToks of him drinking all this bourbon. And then the next one was him laying in bed and being unable to move. And so he basically chronicled his trip over TikTok.
So his whole trip was drinking a lot of bourbon,
Yeah.
passing out the bed, and not even making it into one swinger room.
Well, I know that they went to different events. I mean, they saw like all of Atlanta. Like they went to the United soccer game yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Which sucked because I put a bet on United to win. They fucking tied. Fuckers. But by the way, I won the basketball game.
Cool.
My biggest bet was winning the basketball game. By the way, it's gonna be Bucks versus Suns. If anybody hasn't figured that out yet, it's going to be Bucks versus Suns. That's what the NBA Finals gonna be. In case there's anybody out there who thinks it's gonna be something different, it's obvious that that's what's gonna happen.
Can you do like a futures bet on that?
No, I had the Brooklyn Nets going. So somebody just called. Let me call back. I'll call back whoever just called. All right. It better not be some dumb shit.
Might be Fat 420.
All right. No, I'm calling it back. Yeah, I'm just not hearing it. Yeah, sorry, I'm calling it. It's just not. Yeah, because the phones have been brought up. I'll try to close it down and reopen it again. You know.
Yeah.
Fat 420 says, how many people dropped the Patreon because you screwed them over? No, nobody. I mean, I predicted. I haven't missed. By the way, I haven't missed an NBA game in a while. I've been getting all of these NBA games lately. Of course, I got to be honest. It's pretty easy to get them now. It's down to 4 teams. You know. Yeah, and I couldn't help. I mean, you know, I thought it was going to be Brooklyn Nets. I really do. I thought if they wouldn't have got injured, if Kyrie Irving and James Harden weren't injured, there's no way that the Brooklyn Nets would have lost. But now I got to tell you, it's going to be Milwaukee versus Phoenix. So, yeah. And I got a feeling that Giannis, Antetokounmpo is going to get his first championship. At least that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking is coming. Oh well, let's get to some stories to sort of look at what's going on. I found this is interesting because there was a writer from New York. There's a writer from New York named Frank Alito who grew up in Long Island. Let me answer the phone first. Hello, you're on Morning Disaster.
Yeah, this is Alex Jones of Infowars.com. How you doing?
I'm sorry, this is who?
Alex Jones.
Oh, hi, Alex.
Infowars.com.
Hi, Alex Jones.
How are you doing? Great podcast, by the way. I love it. It's tremendous. I just want to clarify a few things, okay?
All right.
The reason the weather is going so crazy is because Cobra has built the weather control device. And they're giving it to Skeletor so he can try and get the power of Castle Grayskull finally, with the sole intent of making the frogs gay.
So
What the hell?
he's making frogs gay with the weather machine that Cobra invented.
Yes, and the Decepticons from Transformers are funding it.
How do the Decepticons get money?
The Decepticons, they sell stuff on eBay all the time.
So
that's how they get their funding. I believe it's Soundwave, the cassette player Decepticon, and Destro. They both have an OnlyFans. So they get large donations that way.
I had no idea that there was an OnlyFans for the Decepticons.
Decepticons.
They have an OnlyFans. They're funding all of this to make the frogs gay. And the only ones that could save us are G.I. Joe and the Power Rangers and the Autobots.
But wait a minute. But who benefits from the frogs being gay?
The elf people from the Earth's core who live in molten lava.
And
Mumra. Mumra also benefits from this.
By the way, Fat 420 says, this sounds more like Hulk Hogan than Alex Jones.
I get that a lot. I have to mask my voice, because if not, George Soros and Cobra will find me. And Cobra Commander, I can't tolerate his voice.
Well,
he's so high-pitched.
I thank you so much, Alex Jones. I had no idea that this was going on. Now you've opened our eyes.
You're very welcome. I'm Alex Jones, Infowars.com. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. There you go. Oh, my God. He did sound more like
severe.
He sounded a lot like Hulk Hogan. Yeah.
Talk about severe and runny bullshit.
Very
I
funny.
mean, that sounds like something Fat 420 stomped down the drain.
I did like the Decepticons. I like the Decepticons and Skeletor and all these people being involved. I did like that.
That elf people in molten lava.
Well, because why would what does it matter? What does it matter if frogs are gay or not?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I don't see how. I got to be honest. I don't understand how anybody being gay affects anyone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I ran into a situation with one of my coworkers last week where I was like, wow, how does this even affect you? And why are you complaining?
It's amazing. It's like, listen, when gay sex is going on,
I'm not there.
Yeah, it's usually between two people, unless you're one of them. You know what I mean? I don't understand how it would affect you, you know? And this is with everything. This is with, you know, you could replace gay with something else. But people get so caught up in stuff that has nothing to do with them. I never understand it. But yet, Alex Jones listeners were concerned about frogs being gay. I have no idea
Well,
I
it's
have.
just like when he said he was going to start eating his neighbors. You know,
Yeah.
the barbecue sauce sales
Hey,
went up.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
Uh-oh. What we have here now is a very important text message.
All right.
Was that
There we go.
emergency repair?
No, that was my doctor. Who I've been renting. I've had to rent these wheelchairs. I mean, this is what I could talk about. I've had to rent these wheelchairs,
Right.
and it's very expensive to rent them. You know, just keeps adding up and adding up. And the insurance company said, there's a prescription that they'll pay for the wheelchair or whatever. So I had to call my knee doctor and get a prescription for it.
Right.
You know, I don't even understand how any of this works. So all I know is that I can't walk, like my left leg is now holding, I could stand. If I stand up, if I stand on my, if all the weight's on my left leg, I can at least stand. You know what I mean?
Are you able to use the cane to help take the pressure off?
Just a little bit. I mean, but it's like if I go to the bathroom, I have cane, I use the wall, I guess, dude, I can't, it's just too, I use the couch. I got one hand on the couch, I got one hand on the cane, or I have one hand on the wall, or, it's just because I can't, just sucks. Steve says, if Ray had more Patreon.
Make sure Jason's there to help you at the bathroom and baseball.
Yeah. Yeah. And then when I go to, I can't stand to pee anymore. But if Jason would help me, I could. Like if Jason reached in.
To help out,
Yeah, if he reached in and held my cock for me, I could then stand to pee. Poor Jason. At least
kind of like the Huff Ranger.
Yeah, at least that's what I'm gonna go by when I go to the game. Thinking about it. Oh well. All right. So I'm gonna get to the stories. I was telling you guys about the story. So this guy named Frank Alito, he's a writer from Long Island. He lives in Brooklyn, and he writes for a website called Insider.com. All right. And he wrote an article for the Insider's travel section after the guy from New York visited the Midwest for the first time in his life. All right. Now,
Was it
in
positive
visiting the
things he had to
Midwest,
say?
in visiting the Midwest, this is what he considered Midwest. He went to Chicago and Detroit. All right.
Oh, no. Come on.
But he went to that's what he's considered the Midwest. So all of it is Chicago and Detroit. But still, he made some shocking observations. He said, in the Midwest, things move at a slightly slower pace. He said things move at a slightly slower pace. Restaurants and trains included. True. Yeah. And number 2, he said people are almost too nice. And
probably a good thing he never met Doran then.
He said people are so nice, it made him uncomfortable. It made him uncomfortable because people were too nice. The other observation is, he said, it gets hot in the Midwest. He goes, it gets hot in the Midwest in June. He said he always thought that the Midwest topped out around 70 degrees. He had no idea that the Midwest had 90 plus degree temperatures in June. He had no idea. But his whole trip was over 90. He said the other thing he noticed was in the Midwest, things don't cost as much. He said he was expecting $15 for a drink, and he was expecting $50 dinners. But he was shocked at how low our prices were in the Midwest. And because the prices were low, he felt like he could cut loose.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. He said Midwesterners spend more time in nature. Oh, I mean, not this Midwesterner. He heard talk of cabins and hikes. He also found people appreciate large bodies of water in the Midwest more than New Yorkers do.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Well, it's just because there's no lakes in New York. You know, there's really no lakes in, in Chicago. In Chicago, there is literally this gigantic lake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's just a lake that looks like a friggin' ocean. But it's a lake. He said in the Midwest, it's harder to get an Uber. In New York, it takes 5 minutes or less to get an Uber. But in Chicago and Detroit, it takes 10 to 20 minutes. And it required, he did a lot more planning. It required a lot more planning to use Uber in the Midwest than he's used to in New York. Yeah. Here's some other things he said. He goes, there's an emptiness in the Midwest that he's not used to as a New Yorker.
What, you mean like after you get out of the city or something?
No, he goes, as a resident of Brooklyn, I've quickly learned it's nearly impossible to have a moment of solitude in the city. Everywhere you look, there are people, no matter what time of day it is. There's almost no such thing as an empty street in New York. In the Midwestern cities I visited, that wasn't the case. When I walked through Chicago, there were some neighborhoods, especially downtown in the Loop, that seemed completely empty. Even some of the subway stations were deserted. It felt eerie and almost apocalyptic to be walking down the streets alone. By the way, it's not subways. They have the L, but
Right.
He said that was something he had to get used to in the Midwest. Let's see what else. He goes, many Midwesterners said that winters weren't as bad as New Yorkers make them out to be. All right. The guy says, as a New Yorker, I've always thought the Midwest as a region was bombarded by winter storms and freezing temperatures. I spoke with many Midwesterners while touring the region, and they all agreed that the winters are not that bad. One woman I spoke with told me that the winters were usually only 5 to 10 degrees cooler than in New York, and they only get a few blizzards each season. I got to tell you something. The worst winter I've ever had in my life,
New York.
was when I lived in Syracuse, New York. That was fucking horrible. That was the worst winter I ever experienced. And that was out east.
Mine was northern Wisconsin.
Yeah, I mean,
That even beat Germany.
I mean, we have bad winters. Don't get me wrong. There are winters I hate. There are winters that I hate. But the worst winter I've ever had is when I lived in Syracuse, New York. There literally was almost 300 inches of snow. It snowed around Memorial Day when I lived in New York. It was terrible. The guy says he was surprised to find no parking signs that are weather dependent. Yeah.
Wow.
He goes, one street sign he saw in Chicago said no parking 3 a.m. to 7 a.m., December 1st to April, or when snow is over 2 inches. He's never seen a parking sign like that in New York. He says, everyone I met was extremely nice in the Midwest, unlike some of my neighbors in New York City. He goes, pedestrians wave and thank cars as they cross intersections in the Midwest. Yeah. That's what we do. Yeah. He said items are cheaper in the Midwest, like grocery shopping. He goes, grocery store items are much cheaper in the Midwest than they are in New York. Of course. He said the Midwest has more than enough entertainment and culture to keep any traveler busy.
Very true.
Yeah, it's just different. It's just a different type of entertainment, you know. New York City. Guy says New York City is known for its traffic, but I was surprised to learn that Chicago has even more. I could tell you that, people.
Oh yeah,
Chicago traffic in the morning, especially if you're going through like drive time in the morning. Oh my God. Chicago traffic is insane in the morning. He said another thing about Midwest, there are fewer homeless people on the streets of the Midwestern cities. Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to, what else is in this article? If you guys want to read it, it's on insider.com. I'll let you read yourself, but it's pretty interesting. It's a pretty interesting article, and it's about a guy from New York who visited Chicago and Detroit. It was his first time ever visiting the Midwest, and I just thought it was interesting that his observations about the Midwest. And by the way, this is visiting people who live here, okay?
Yeah.
People who live in Springfield, we don't, you know, we don't go to Chicago because that's too it's too busy up there. Chicago, you know. We don't go to Detroit, it's too busy. I mean, even St. Louis is too
Unless
busy.
you drive a truck.
I'm just saying it's, you know. The guy visited 2 of the bigger cities in the Midwest. He should have come to like a Springfield. If you really want, if you want a culture shock, yeah. If you want a culture shock, come here to Springfield.
We'll show you the penis in the sky.
Yeah. You know. Could you hear my cat in the back?
Yeah.
Could you hear? I don't know if she's coming over the thing. I don't know what the hell the cat's doing.
Oh, there was something else that happened last night too that made Jason. Oh, I forgot. Fat 420 was called in to talk about different radio stations and stuff, and I heard a squish, squish, squish. And I asked Fat 420, I was like, "Did you just waffle stop on the air?" And he goes, "Well, you gotta go, you gotta go." And Jason started throwing up.
Is that what caused him to throw up?
Yeah, he had the mental image of you at the baseball game, and then heard Fat 420 waffle stop, and he threw up all over the place.
I heard that. I had heard that Jason threw up during that anti-vax.
There was no anti-vax anything.
The mayhem anti-vax, the anti-vax mayhem festival.
You stop. Now you're being all prejudiced again.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Oh, that orange is terrible.
Oh, did you get yourself a tart orange?
Oh, just terrible. Brutally bad. Oh. Oh, well. There's nothing worse. Like, my wife got like, I guess it's tangerines.
Yeah.
And the first one I opened taste was, oh my God, it was just terrible. I was like, I was eating poison. Oh, well.
You do not honestly believe that your wife would try to poison you with fruit.
Did you see the video of the fan at the Tour de France?
No.
All right. There was a fan at the Tour de France who had a sign and ended up causing. I'm gonna show this, okay, so you guys can see it. Hold on. I'm gonna show it. Let me figure out how I do this to where everybody can see it. I want to do this so you guys can see it because it's crazy. It is nuts. This fan at the Tour de France ended up causing
a pile up.
Yeah, it ended up causing, like, there was a big. It's on the NBC. All right, here we go. It was on. It's on the NBC Twitter page. So I want to go there and show. It's crazy, you guys. You will not believe it. A fan watching the Tour de France. All right. Sees they're filming it and decides they want to get their sign on TV. Okay. They decide they want to get their sign on TV. And then it all goes to hell. All right. All right. So you can see this, right?
Yeah.
All right, now watch. There's a fan that's trying to get a sign on TV.
Holy shit!
Right? There's the fan. And she takes out. Now watch this angle. Watch this angle. Look how many people are taking. This is the first leg of the Tour de France.
Which is always really tight to begin with.
Yeah. She literally took out.
Holy crap!
She took out like 100 bike riders. It was all because this one fan was trying to get her sign on TV. It was unbelievable. There were people that were injured in the riding bikes. People in the crowd were injured. Look at this mess. And literally, you see like 50 to 75 people get knocked out of the race.
It looks like a bombing happened.
Yeah. I guess the person up front, I mean, they probably just, they probably just easily strolled to the. Look at the guy in the yellow up front there. I mean, he was able to just, yeah, he was able to just roll all the way through to the beginning. He's the only one that's left. It just is insane. I mean, look at this. I think I should find this woman who did it, throw her in jail or something. The whole thing is just insane.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
I haven't seen a pile up like that on NASCAR. Look at that.
And Summer says they still haven't found the woman. Hello, you're on the Morning Disaster.
Yeah, this is listener Adam.
Hey, what's up, Adam?
Did you see the guy in blue? The guy in blue, like, put his hand to his chest.
He did what?
He put his hand to his chest, like, thank God I missed that.
Oh yeah, it's the whole thing. I mean, the whole thing is insane.
Yeah, I mean, if you were in the top 8,
Yeah.
unless you were the 5th guy who got hit by the cardboard, yeah, you're cool. Just pace yourself. Everyone else got screwed.
What is that person thinking? What is the person who did that? I mean, good Lord. They're
yeah, I wonder how many lawsuits are going to come from that too.
And I don't know if I said it was a woman, but it might have been a teenage boy. I don't know what the hell. I don't know what that was, but I know they're still unable to find the person that had the sign, but that person should be,
Yeah.
They've definitely got to do something,
A little
I
tail
imagine there's probably going to be a new rule about signs along the path and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they literally took out about 95% of the racers.
Well, one would think that that's illegal,
Yeah.
I mean, somebody's going to get seriously hurt. And the person who did it, I think they're okay. Like you'd think that the person holding the sign would somehow be injured, but no, they seem to be okay.
No, it looked like they just used a cardboard box, so their sign got ruined.
Mm-hmm.
But whoop-de-doo. They're getting a lot of press now.
Yeah.
The one holding it kind of looked like you ever see that movie Superbad?
Yeah.
That the kid who gets the fake ID?
Yeah. McLovin.
Yeah, it looked like McLovin was holding. It sort of looked like McLovin was holding the sign. Or or a woman who looked like McLovin. I'm not sure, you know.
Mrs. McLovin.
Yeah,
Could be.
that's what it looks
Maybe
like,
the
though.
sign said. Maybe the sign said in French, "Watch me take out most of my riders' competition."
It's unbelievable. Oh well.
Yeah. All the sign would have to say is check this out, and then
Yeah.
chaos ensues.
The sign. Maybe the sign said, "Trump won the election." Trump was robbed.
Yeah.
Maybe the sign said, "I'm afraid of gay frogs."
Yeah, who knows? Thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, horrible. Yeah. So that happened yesterday. That happened.
Lord.
Yep. The big hullabaloo at the Tour de France.
Well, there's a word you don't hear very often. Hullabaloo.
Yep. Big hullabaloo. Let's see. And the person is on the run, like the one who did it is not coming forward. And it was a woman. It says a woman is on the run after causing a massive pileup during stage 1 of the Tour de France. The woman had a cardboard sign that said "Allez umpe ume," which is a mix of French and German that means something like "Hi, Grandpa and Grandma" or something. As the racers approached, she stepped onto the road to hold the sign out, causing racer Tony Martin to crash into it, go down, and take out a bunch of bikes with him. Most riders were able to get up and continue after the crash, but a guy named Jassa Suterland had to leave the race because of the incident. I mean, it's just crazy.
It's nuts.
People have been watching the coverage to try to figure out who the woman is, but they still have not figured it out. The Tour de France says they're going to sue her. Once they find the woman, they're going to sue her in order to try to keep others from ever trying this again. Unbelievable.
Sue her and give her jail time.
Well,
make her the Tour de France OJ.
Who knows? Hey, what's the longest show on television?
The
longest show on television?
You know, I want to say it's The Simpsons.
Nope. I have a list. Of the top 15 shows on television that have been running nonstop. A list of shows that have been running nonstop. There are 15 of them, but there is a clear number one winner.
Days of Our Lives.
No, Days of Our Lives has been running on television for 56 years. It started November 8th of 1965. But it is not the longest show currently running on television.
Wow.
It is not Days of Our Lives. That's a good guess. A good guess was Days of Our Lives, but they are not number one. Does anybody have any idea what is number one? Does anyone have any idea?
The news?
Nope. No, the news is not a show. American television shows.
Oh man.
Number 2 was Days of Our Lives. Has been running for 56 years.
That was number 2.
That was number 2. What are some of the other ones on this list? Let me check our chat room and see what people are giving us for suggestions. And we'll see, Steve says One Life to Live. It is not One Life to Live. I don't even think One Life to Live is on the air anymore, is it?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Them daytime
Cindy,
soaps-
by the way, Cindy has just gotten it. It is General Hospital.
that
General
was my
Hospital.
next guess.
General Hospital started April 1st of 1963. It's been running for 58 years. Holy shit. 58 years. You ever watch that?
No. I tried. I made it through 3 minutes, went to sleep.
When I was in college, there was like every day you go to lunch at the cafeteria,
Yeah.
and then there was a hall with big screen TVs and stuff, and that where everybody would go and they would watch. There was a whole series of soap operas that were on, and people would watch soap operas. Now, that was the only one I would watch would be Days of Our Lives, but I do remember that there was a bunch of college age kids in the 1980s who would watch all these soap operas because I lived it. There'd be a bunch of people sitting around the television watching soap opera, which was crazy. But I do remember Days of Our Lives. And I remember it's in the 80s, like there were sex scenes and really attractive women on those shows.
Don't tell me you're going to start getting into the soaps again.
No, of course not. But I'm saying that in the 80s, in the 80s, that stuff was going on. So when I was in Peoria, I ended up meeting and becoming friends with some people who were on Days of Our Lives because one of the guys from the Peoria area, one of the guys was on Days of Our Lives. So we got to know him, and he was a super nice guy. And then he had some of his buddies were coming through. Some of his buddies were coming through Peoria. So whenever they came through, they would call John and I.
Right.
They would guest on the Lila Lamb show, and they'd hang out with us, But they were all guys from Days of Our Lives, and they're really, really super nice guys,
Tell all the behind the scenes sex stories.
No, they were just really nice guys. Like it was back when we were doing our Gilligan's parties and stuff in Peoria.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like these guys were in town doing they had some kind of theater out there or something, so they would come and they would do so many shows at the theater.
I know what it is. It was the Conklin Dinner Theater out by
yeah. And so the guy that played Bo Brady and the guy that played Patch, they both came to town and they hung out with us. And I mean, really, the guy who played Bo Brady was really nice. Like he would have dinner at my house and we worked out together. He was a really nice guy. He was a super friendly guy. And the guy who played Patch was funny as well. They were really good guys.
They used to be a really good date. was taking a girl out to the Conklin Dinner Theater.
Yeah, it's a good time. Let's see what else is on the list. Number 3. No one guessed number 3. Number 3 was Sesame Street.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, it's been that long. When did Sesame Street
Sesame
start?
Street's been running for 52 years.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Big Bird's about ready to draw Social Security.
Yeah. Masterpiece Theater. Masterpiece Theater is number 4. Masterpiece Theater. Yo,
like
yo,
the
yo.
Theater better.
Yo, yo, yo. Thank you for tuning in to Master P Theater. Yo, yo, yo. Let's see. Number 5 is The Price is Right.
Okay, I can see that.
By the way, The Price is Right has been running for 49 years. Number 6 is The Young and the Restless. My mother-in-law still watches The Young and the Restless. Like, that's her show. That's her jam, man. She's got to watch Young and the Restless. Number 7, Wheel of Fortune.
Well, that's because everybody's still checking out Vanna White.
Vanna White's got to be 80 years old.
Hey, she's still hot.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how old Vanna White is, but she's got to be, what, in her 60s, 70s?
60s or 70s easy, but she don't look it.
She's 64 years old.
Well, I don't know what she's doing, but keep it up.
See, I'm looking at a picture of her now. I think she looks 64. I mean, she's in shape, but, you know, I'll give her that. She's in shape, but it's got to be hard to stay that in shape at 64 years old.
No kidding.
Good Lord. I mean, good Lord. By the way, Pat says, the people in that show are neither young nor are they restless.
No kidding.
That's fantastic.
Got it right.
Number 8, Saturday Night Live.
Hey, there's a good one.
Saturday Night Live has been going for 46 years. Number 9 is Jeopardy.
I figured the game shows were going to hit in there when you said The Price is Right.
Number 10, The Bold and the Beautiful.
There's another soap.
By the way, it's only been going for 34 years.
Oh, so it's a youngin'.
Yeah. For soap operas, it's pretty young, I guess.
They're only starting to get into the plot line.
But I mean, they don't have. There was one time they had a soap opera, you guys. There was one time they had a soap opera that had a talking doll on it.
What?
Yeah, there was a soap opera, and one of the characters was. I remember we talked about this during the Morning Disaster years. There was a character on the soap opera who was Jimmy, who was a talking doll.
How did the Jim doll wind up?
Well, that's what we made fun of Jimmy about, was this doll. And there was a witch and all kinds of shit on it was a soap opera. And somebody told me about it, and I watched this soap opera. Holy shit, it was the craziest thing. It was the craziest thing ever. Yeah, Fat 420 said that show was called Fat 420 says that show was called Passions. Yes. And there was a woman who was a witch, and there was a talking doll. Honest to God, that was an actual soap opera. All right, number 11, America's Funniest Home Videos has been on TV since November of 1989.
So yeah, it's pretty recent compared to a lot of the others.
I remember I was in Corpus Christi when that show premiered. And we had the co-host. We had the co-host of the show, and I can't remember her name. We had the co-host of the show on the air with us, and she was actually really cool. And she was on, I think she was on Days of Our Lives at one point. And she guested on our show to promote Funniest Home Videos. But that's how old that show is. I remember when it debuted. Bubba says 60 Minutes is older. Yeah, but 60 Minutes is a news show. Doesn't count. Yeah. Number 12, The Simpsons.
The Simpsons has got to be on the list somewhere.
That's The Simpsons. The Simpsons debuted in December of 1989.
Because they came out originally. They came out originally on the Tracy Ullman show.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They got their own show in December of 89. It's been going for 32 years. Number 13 is the Power Rangers.
What?
The Power Rangers came out in August of 1993. It has been on the air for 28 years.
That's still going on?
I guess. I don't know. Number 14, South Park. South Park has been on the air since 1997. I remember when South Park debuted.
I was going to say, God, has it been that long for South Park?
Yeah.
Wow.
South Park has been fantastic. I think it's been 32 years of just joy. I don't watch it as much as I used to, but holy shit, they're still right there. They hit it right on the head.
Reverend as ever.
And number 15 is Law and Order Special Victims Unit.
I like SVU.
I've never seen it.
Oh man, Law and Order, the original wasn't bad, but Special Victims Unit I really like.
The original's no longer on TV, right?
Yeah, the original is ended. But they've got like Special Victims Unit, they've got Organized Crime. I mean, but SVU I really got into. That was a hell of a good program.
It's unbelievable. So Special Victims Unit it's a show about a New York City police department group that handles special sex crimes.
Sex crimes, drug crimes, it's all over the map. Sometimes murder is involved.
All this says is it handles sex crimes. I'm looking at what they say. I had no idea that the whole thing was about sex crimes. I'll be damned.
It is really good.
I've never seen it. Yeah. There you go.
That's the one that's got Ice-T in it.
I've never watched the show. I don't know. That Dick Wolf stuff,
Yeah.
all those shows. Is he the one that has all the Chicago shows?
He might. You know, like
Isn't
Chicago
there-
Fire and that.
Isn't there Chicago Police, Chicago Fire, Chicago blah blah blah? You know.
He might. I'm not for sure. I'd have to go back and check.
Yeah. Which is nuts. Oh well. I've never seen a second of Special Victims Unit.
Check it out.
Of course, it's literally been going on for 22 years. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna binge watch to get caught up on that show.
No, you try binge watching that thing, you're gonna be there for at least a month.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna take more than a month. You're gonna watch 22.
Well, I mean, the positive side is if you did decide to binge watch it, it's going to take all that time. You could always have Jason come over and powder your balls to help you out.
I mean, I don't even know who has that available to binge watch.
Hulu
Hulu has that.
Hulu has it.
I'd pass.
I mean, like I said, you could always get Jason over there to help clean you up, powder your balls. You'd be all set.
Hey, you want to know what I'm binge watching now?
What are you watching?
I woke up this morning, got myself a gun. The Sopranos.
That's right. You've been bringing that up.
The Sopranos been so good. Oh my God, I gotta tell you, The Sopranos are unbelievable. I watched the first time,
right,
and I loved it. I loved it the first time. We haven't watched it since it went off the air in 2000 whatever. But I gotta tell you, we've gone back and binge watched it again. My wife and I.
Just as good,
dude. It's so good. It really is. I'm getting so much more out of it this time than I did when it first aired. I think that was probably the best era for television.
Really?
Yeah, because The Sopranos, West Wing, Lost. I mean, come on. It was the best television we ever had.
It was a good time for TV.
Like you
were addicted to Lost, man.
Oh, I love Lost. My favorite show of all time is West Wing, and that was one of the West Wing, Sopranos, Lost. Those are three of the best shows in the history of television. Curb Your Enthusiasm. That's when it was getting going too. Another great show.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I remember when Lost was on. Oh man, Don't Bother Ray.
These are all shows that came out right after HD.
See, I wanted to watch The West Wing. What's that available on?
It's on HBO Max.
I'm gonna have to get that so I can
The
watch
West
it.
Wing. The West Wing is the greatest show in the history of television. Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't get a chance to really get into it or watch it. I think I caught maybe 2 or 3 episodes, but by then it was later, and I was completely lost in the storyline. I had no idea what was going on.
I love West Wing. I just think it's the best. But I'll tell you what, The Sopranos.
That was a close second for you.
Dude, The Sopranos are amazing.
That was one of my favorite shows. I really did enjoy The Sopranos.
Yeah. Sopranos really is great. I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. If you've never watched it, or if you've only watched it once, I highly recommend watching The Sopranos again. And Pat says he might give West Wing a shot. Dude, I'm telling you, West Wing it's Aaron Sorkin wrote it. It's some of the best dialogue. It's just so great. And I have to tell you that the Trump era sort of lessens the West Wing a little bit.
Oh, does it?
Well, just from this standpoint. Because the West Wing comes from an era when the two political sides didn't get, like, they had their problems, but there was they would try to find answers, each give a little and you get an answer, you know what I mean?
Right.
Whereas since the Trump era, it's become, you don't have to play by any fair rules. I mean, I don't know. It makes some of the stuff in the West Wing. It makes you kind of say, well, you could solve it by doing this, because we've seen it happen. Like the West Wing sort of looks at the Trump era and says, oh, that can't possibly happen, and then it ended up, when Trump was president, they ended up doing stuff that the West Wing said was that stuff will never happen. But then Trump came in and did all of it. So there's a little bit of, you've got to kind of get past that, but it is really it's the best show in the history of television. I just love it. I see Nikki has joined us. Hi, Nikki.
Hello.
How are you?
Just waking up.
What?
At 9:25. Literally 5 minutes before the show ends, she just wakes up.
I know.
I wish I could sleep that late.
I didn't fall asleep until like 6.
What were you doing?
Go to bed that late.
What were you doing until 6 a.m?
Hurting. My whole body hurts.
I just don't understand it.
I don't have a sleep schedule. Schedule.
I mean, what did you do all night?
Laid here hurting.
Yeah, but I mean, you had to do more than just that.
Why?
Because if you were just hurting, you would fall asleep.
No, the pain keeps you awake.
Yeah, your body wouldn't let you just sit and ache. Like you'd be bored.
Are you kidding me? Have you met my body?
No, I'm saying, I'm someone who's like, my knees hurt. My knees hurt all the time, even when I'm sleeping. Okay. So I understand that. Like my knees hurt 100, like from the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep, they hurt. Even when I'm in bed.
The only thing I didn't have is I did not have a headache. Everything else hurt.
Okay, but I'm saying, like, even when I'm in bed, they hurt, but I fall asleep.
Not me. Keeps
So
me awake.
you weren't watching or reading anything or doing anything. You were just sitting there in pain.
Parks and Rec.
Thank you. So you were watching something.
But like the last 2 hours, I was in bed doing nothing but tossing and turning.
You were watching Peacock on your phone.
Peacock.
Isn't there a lot of commercials in that?
I don't mind. There's normally commercials if you watch them on regular TV.
Well, I try to watch the WWE network. There's a lot of commercials on that Peacock. There's a lot. Yeah. And they're always the same commercials.
Yes.
I find myself hating commercials on streaming sites.
Because you're an elitist.
I'm just saying, like, Like we have commercials on this show. We have commercials on this show that we have.
And you hate
And-
them?
No, I don't mind them.
You don't like them?
No. I don't mind them.
Oh.
But Peacock, I really mind.
But
You
there's
know.
shows that would normally have commercials in them anyway.
It's so intrusive.
Oh my goodness.
You know what they don't have?
What?
They don't have Sean Balint.
They don't have what?
They don't have Sean Balint. If
Huh?
they had Sean Balint, people would like their commercials.
Make sure you check out the Morning Disaster app on iPhone and Android. You'll find the app in Google Play and the iPhone App Store. The app is brought to you by Recontex. It's time for you to get detail-oriented. They can clean your car inside and out, and consider this a tsunami warning. If you don't get a fresh coat of tsunami from Recontex, your car is going to look old and tired. Call 670-1132, 670-1132, and schedule your detail today. Recontex, 820 East Black Avenue, Springfield. When it comes to furniture, if you turn to someone you don't trust, you could have a disaster on your hands. Get furniture made for the long haul. It's all about quality American-made furniture at Hendricks Home Furnishings. It's a short drive from Springfield to Verdon, or they'll deliver to you. Either way, you'll find the kind of great service they've provided since 1949. You'll find top names like Lazy Boy, Craftmaster, Smith Brothers of Bern, Southern Motion, Durham, Universal, Canadell, Archbold, Weinsberg, and many more. So come to Hendricks Home Furnishings, 217 North Springfield Street, Verdon.
There you go. Thank you, Sean Balint. Now there's a commercial. Not like Peacock. I heard that HBO Max is going to start running commercials on their service as well.
Well,
Yeah. Well, of course, there's going to be if you pay more, you're not going to get any commercials.
right.
Like Peacock, I guess there's a level of Peacock you could pay for where you don't get any commercials.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't mind them.
I'll tell you.
I can have a pee break at some point.
What's your phone? You just take your phone with you when you pee.
No, I watch it on my TV.
Oh, you have an actual TV now. Oh.
Yeah, I got one last Christmas.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
I thought you were just watching on your phone.
No.
He could be like TJ. He watched it TJ watched it in the back of the truck.
Is porn.
TJ, you don't watch porn in the back of your truck, do you? He's not saying anything now. You think TJ's watching porn in the back of that truck?
Oh, yeah. Isn't that what truckers do?
I don't know.
What I do in the back of my truck is none of your damn concern, Raymond. Lytle.
I bet he is watching some porn back there.
Mm-hmm.
I clean my sheets. It's none of your concern.
He's back there. Watching some trucker porn. Yeah.
No.
Yep. It's all ladies that look like dog food lady.
Oh, hell no.
I'm gonna strip for you. Yeah.
Of course you would think of first one. Of course you, of all people. No, you know what? I shouldn't be surprised. You've got an obsession with dog food lady for some reason.
I love dog food lady. By the way, Fat 420 shared waffle stomping video. He's been sharing waffle stomping videos on my in my Facebook Messenger.
Oh my God! Please tell me he sent you that PSA. That was hilarious.
It's waffle stomping videos.
I don't even want to know what waffle stomping is.
Oh, you don't even want to know?
No, you probably don't.
No,
That's because you've missed the show.
I was sleeping.
Yeah, Fat 420 has been.
Hi, my name is Jacob Jonas. As this coronavirus worsens, it has become increasingly clear that people are frantically searching for toilet paper. I am here to tell you today that you do not need toilet paper to safely clean your rear end in a sanitary manner. Today I am here to tell you about a common practice known as waffle stomping. A lot of people think that waffle stomping is complicated, but I'm here to show you that it's super easy. See, everyone wants to take a shower. You get clean, you get sanitary. This is 2 birds, 1 stone. Okay? All you gotta do is while you're taking a shower, you just gotta put your rear end up to the shower drain, squat down, and then punch. Good Lord.
No, no.
Then you need to socially distance yourself from your shit. That's why you bring your homie with you, so he can waffle stomp your shit through the drain.
Oh.
I really don't mind it.
That's Fat 420.
Yeah. Bro. I knew I didn't want to know.
Quick tip. If there's still shit in your asshole, just do a handstand and the entire shower turns into a full body bidet. This is awesome. This is great. I really don't mind it. I'm so clean.
There you go.
Gross, right?
Yeah. Thank you. Fat 420 shared that with me.
Yeah.
Fat 420 looks like the guy who says, I don't mind it.
Yeah, he does.
That guy sort of looks like Fat 420. I really don't mind it. Yeah. I don't mind it. at all. Yeah. Yeah, buddy.
Miss him, Nikki?
What?
I said, see what you've been missing, Nikki?
Oh, yeah. I'm glad I got up for the last 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, aren't you glad you got a chance to join the show today?
Mm-hmm. Learn something new.
Yeah. There you go. Good old Nikki.
Highly important education on waffle stomping.
Yep. Good old Nikki. Finding out how it works and, you know,
what it's all about.
And how we do it.
Just
it's just if you want to go, Nikki, just next time you're in the shower, just let it, you know.
No.
Just let it fly.
No. That's
Have a
nasty.
little fun. Have a little fun. Let it.
Mm-mm.
Let the big dog breathe.
Oh my God. I'm surprised you haven't talked about this the whole show.
Take care of your beeswax.
Stop.
God damn. Oh well.
Oh well.
There's we'll have more waffle stomping on tomorrow's show. We'll be back tomorrow at 8:00. We'll be back tomorrow at 8:00 with another edition of the Morning Disaster. Thank you so much for viewing, listening, whatever you did today. Thank you so much for doing that. We're going to wrap up today. I got to go work out. You guys have a great. Where are you heading off to, TJ?
I am on my way to Quincy and then Dallas.
Oh boy, look at that.
Ready to drive right into the. I checked the weather this morning. The storm line is literally right what I'm getting ready to drive into. It's a dot of red in it.
For the love of God, it needs to quit raining.
Yeah, it's been nonstop. It's
There's
been
another one on the
nonstop rain. And there's tornadoes yesterday and all kinds of stuff. We need to stop with. I'm sick of seeing videos on Facebook with people talking about now. If you'll notice this rotation, blah, blah, blah. I'm so sick of it. I don't want to hear.
420 waffle stump to get rid of the storm.
I don't want to hear about the rotation. I don't want to hear about any more rotation in the clouds. We'll be back tomorrow with another show. You guys have a great rest of your Monday. So long, everybody.